She'll set the field on fire, just cutting across the pasture. She'll have you falling for it all and then leave right after. And she got a cold heart, but she got a warm smile, cut from the same cloth. She kinda buck wild, a little bit angel, whole lot of outlaw. She's trouble, but I tell you right now, y'all, long live cowgirls. Never gonna settle on down, girls. Leave you in a lonely ghost town, world where the sun don't rise. Rodeo for one night, love you like a Mustang. One hand on them giddy up reins, holding your heart with some good aim on a goodbye ride. But it's fine, cause it's kinda my thing. Long live cowgirls. Yeah, long live cowgirls. I hate that I love the way them kisses taste like whiskey. How they wake up, take on off, and not even miss me. Leave this heartbroken, holding that smoking gun. I guess that's just the way them wild horses run. Let them run. Long live cowgirls, never gonna settle on down, girls. Leave you in a lonely ghost town, world where the sun don't rise. Rodeo for one night, love you like a Mustang. One hand on them giddy up reins, holding your heart with some good aim on a goodbye ride. But it's fine, cause it's kinda my thing. Long live cowgirls. Yeah, long live cowgirls. Come on, cowgirls, don't you wanna take me away and lay me on down, girl, with the wild kind of loving you made. For God's sake, long live cowgirls. Never gonna settle on down, girls. Leave you in a lonely ghost town, world where the sun don't rise. Rodeo for one night.
What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode brought to you by the League FFB. It is week 13. It is Sunday right now. It feels like the longest weekend of all time, but you know what? I can't complain, man. I can't complain. But it feels like it's been a whole week of a weekend. And look, we're here for week 13, fantasy football. Gonna get you guys your start sits. I know a lot of people have already had a lot of guys play. I know one of my teams, I've had like 5 of my 10 starters already play this week. So unfortunately, one of those starters was Amon-Ra St. Brown. You know, get well soon, but God damn it, I did not need that donut in my lineup here in week 13. Look, man, I want to remind you folks, as always, today, this is about answering the start sits. If you want to skip the line at any point here today, the best way to skip the line is by hitting a super chat. A super chat is going to get you to the top. I'm going to try and work my way from the top all the way to the bottom, getting through every single question here in week 13. But like I said, if you're impatient, you just want your question answered immediately, super chat is the best way to do that. Now, if you want to go above and beyond, you can hit the like button for me. That is the best free way to show this channel some support, or you can sign up over on Underdog. Signing up on Underdog using promo code LeagueFFB is the best way to support this channel. If you sign up and play $5, you will get $100 in bonus funds. So that is going to be the top tier way you can support this channel outside of subscribing and liking and doing all that good stuff. So that being said, man, let's just get right into the questions. I see we got a lot of them right now, so let me just hit the music and let's go into it. Cody, first question of the day says, Dynasty question in a half PPR start 3 and a super flex. Jalen Warren versus Buffalo. Wan'Dale Robinson versus New England with Dartback. Tua versus New Orleans. Woody Marks versus Indy. Shakir versus Pittsburgh. Or Debo versus Denver. So I'm looking at this right now, half PPR. I'm going to start with the start 3, I guess. There is no QBs. Actually, Tua is the QB. I'm going to play Tua versus New Orleans in the Superflex. That's the easy one. I always go right to the quarterback for the most part with the Superflex questions. So give me Tua there. I'm going to go Jalen Warren for one of them. I'm going to go Shakir for one of them. And then I'm between Wan'Dale and I'm between Debo, I think. Let me reference the rankings for the wide receivers. And that's where we're going to be. I got Wan'Dale the highest. So give me Wan'Dale, Jalen Warren, Tua, and Shakir. Those are going to be the ones that I play. Let's go to Jeff. Jeff says Gadsden or Juwan Johnson. Great question. I'm looking right now at my rankings. I got Gadsden as my tight end 7 on the week. I got Juwan Johnson as my tight end 12. It is a good matchup for Juwan. He plays Miami, who's currently ranked 29th against the tight end position. But Arona Gadsden's just been a lot more involved for the most part as far as like big plays go. Juwan Johnson's been this PPR guy, but I think I trust Aronde for the high-end ceiling type of play more than I trusted Juwan Johnson this week. Rico or QJ, and I think that got retracted. It was Rico, QJ, or Tet in the flex. This is a good one. He says the co-owner was insistent that we start Pacheco against Dallas over Rico against the Rams. Yeah, I wouldn't have suggested that one, but I'm looking at my flex rankings right now at the moment. I currently have Tetero McMillan as the highest ranked players. He's my 31st overall player in my flex rankings. The next couple guys would be lower than that one. Rico's 52, and I think who's the other guy? QJ. QJ is much lower than that as well. So yeah, just give me Tetero McMillan here. Debo or Bam Knight in the flex. Yeah, this one's another one where I'm not super excited to play Bam, but he could have a decent day. I'm still going Debo. Debo's going to be the play for me in this situation. RJ Harvey or Devin Neal in a full PPR. Devin Neal, man, he's a player that's creeped up the rankings so far for me this week. I'm looking at where I have him. I currently have him as my running back 12 on the week. Yes, running back 12 for Devin Neal. So I'm going to be playing him over RJ Harvey. RJ Harvey's my running back 15. But there's a lot more risk, I think, with Neal than there is Harvey. But, man, I kind of want to get Neal into the lineups where I have him. Logan says, not you getting flamed in the Pick'em chat this week. Look, man, I went 0-for-3 on Thanksgiving, and I went 0-for-1 on Black Friday. So, yeah, I haven't picked one correct this week. Unfortunately, but look, I'm about to go I don't know how many games there are today. 10-0 today on games. I don't think there's that many games, but you know, that's what I'm about to do today. Monkey says, good morning, Andrew. Got to gamble for upside, Jefferson or Walker? Thank you. Wow. I don't think there's a ton of upside with Kenneth Walker. I think if you're playing the upside, you play Jefferson. Jefferson's a player that I don't have very high in the rankings because I just don't know what Max Brosmer is going to look like. But I still think Jefferson's the upside play. If you're playing for upside, both of these guys have kind of low floors, I think, this week. I just rather would have Jefferson. Insidious says Harvey, Egbuka, or Ladd. Great question here, too. When I'm looking at Egbuka in my rankings, he's my wide receiver 13. Ladd's my wide receiver 14. And then I got Harvey, like I said, running back 15. So give me Egbuka. He's the highest. If you're just looking for a tiebreaker, maybe being the matchup, Ladd does have the best matchup of all of them. And Baker's a little bit banged up. So I would say Egbuka or Ladd. I lean Egbuka, but there's definitely an argument for the latter. The latter? That's a... You see what I'm doing there? Browns or Texans defense, and we will see Jettas get garbage time points. Potentially. Let's see. Browns or Texans D. I currently have the Browns D higher than the Texans this week. Steven says, Bucky, Tet, Wandell, Michael Wilson. You have to pick 3 of these in a half PPR league. Bucky is such an interesting case this week, I think, because of a lot of the buzz pieces we've heard come out is he may not get the full workload and he may be eased in slow, but it is a positive matchup for Bucky. And I do think that they're going to use him. I just can't, for myself, sit a guy like Bucky Irving this week. So I'm playing Bucky. But then it comes to Tet, Wandell, and Michael Wilson. And that means you're going to have to be sitting Michael Wilson because he's the player that I have the lowest of those players. I have T-Mac higher and I have Wandell higher. So I guess it's Bucky, Tet, Wandell for me in a half PPR, and Michael Wilson hits the bench. And that's going to be unfortunate because he's played well. But you do have Marvin Harrison back in the lineup this week. So that is, going to be baked into the equation as well. Will, what's up, man? He says, good morning, brother Drew. Start 2. Judkins, Neal, Gainwell, Metcalf, or Aaron Jones. Neal's a top 12 guy for me, like I said, so I'm going to be playing Neal. And then with Metcalf, Judkins, and Jones, those are kind of the guys that I'd be looking at next. I think I'm just gonna lean I think I'm gonna lean Metcalf. I'm gonna play Metcalf, I think. So give me Metcalf, give me Neal. Bucky or Vidal? I'm going with Bucky over Vidal. Vidal or Rico. Oh, pull that one up. Bucky, or it's Vidal or Rico, and Diggs or Troy Franklin. I'm going with Rico over Vidal, and then I'm going with Diggs over Troy Franklin. Not super intrigued by Vidal, by the way. He hasn't really been that good. Running back 2 and 2 flex, Bucky, Vidal, Fannin, Warren, and DK. So give me Warren in the running back 2 slot. Give me Bucky in one of the flexes, and probably give me Vidal in the other flex. I'm going to sit DK and sit Fannin. Tyler Warren. Oh, it's Tyler Warren. Okay, that's a lot different. Give me Bucky in the RB2 slot. Give me Vidal in the flex, and give me Tyler Warren in the flex. I guess it doesn't change the players. It just changes where you plug them in. But thank you for the clarification on Tyler Warren, because I was thinking Jalen Warren. Had to pick up Tua, Dart, and May out on a must-win next week. Makes sense. Tua, Dart, and May are out on a must-win next week. Or Dart and May are out. Okay, had to pick up Tua, comma, got you. Commas, I love commas. I don't mind it. Look, Tua's going to be a player that I think just throws the football a lot this year. Whether it's good or not, I don't know. Pearsall, Strange, or Shamir, DK. Weather makes it seem all Niners pass catchers are going to be unplayable. Yeah, it's not great weather over there. I don't mind Strange. I think I still have more confidence in Pearsall. The weather's definitely something that I'm not excited about, but we're getting into some pretty deeper options here with Strange and DK. I think you can play Strange. If you're nervous about the weather, play Strange. If you're not, go Pearsall. I'm 0-4 as well. Yikes. Yeah, I mean, that's just, I don't know. It was basically all underdogs that won this last 4 days. So if you were betting underdogs, you definitely were making money this last weekend or the last couple days. Full PPR, tight end premium, start 2, Brian Thomas, Marvin Harrison, Shakir, Mason Taylor, Woody Marks. Also Tedder, Michael Wilson. Lastly, Booty Helmer, Mason Taylor. Thanks, brother. Okay, so start 2, I'm going Marvin Harrison Jr. and Shakir. Those are going to be the 2 plays for me there. With Tet or Michael Wilson, give me Ted or McMillan. And then Booty, Helm, or Mason Taylor, I'm going with Mason Taylor. So hopefully that answers all of your questions there. Yeah, man, I got him in my lineup this week, and I'm hoping that we get a decent week because, like I said, I had Amon Ra, who gave me a donut. So I need somebody to show up big today, and hopefully it's Marv in this matchup. 1 flex, 1 tight end, Wandell, Addison, Tetaroa, Fannin, Strange, Ingram. I'm going to go Wandell in the flex, and I'm going to go Strange in the tight end slot. Need to win this week to secure the bye in a Dynasty League. I started Lamar over Hurts. Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, I would have started Lamar over Hurts too. I don't think Hurts had like the worst day ever. He had a mediocre day. It got a little bit of garbage time there for sure. The ladder, sneaky corny. That's like sneaky corny. I like that. I like that though. Jefferson torched the Seattle defense last year. Wouldn't be surprised if he does it again. Just depends on Brosmer. That's what I'm saying, man. It's a UDFA, and as much as everybody on the planet wants it to be Purple Purdy, let's just relax a little bit, man. I want to go see him play first. I'm starting Cook and Hendo with Rico and Harvey on the bench. Do you agree? Cook and Hendo. I do have both of those guys, I think, higher in my rankings. Henderson is a top 10 running back. James Cook is a top 10 running back. Yeah, I would definitely be playing those 2 guys. What's up? Pick one. It's going to be a wide receiver and 2 flex. So we got Waddle, McConkey. I feel like I've been a little bit out of focus this whole time. Have I been? Let me just fix this a little bit. Hopefully that works a little bit better. Pick one wide receiver and 2 flex. Waddle, McConkey, Dowdle, Kenneth Walker, Devin Neal. Also Broncos or Chargers. Okay, so give me Waddle, give me McConkey, give me Devin Neal. I'm benching Dowdle and Walker. And then with the Broncos or the Chargers defense, I'm going to be going with Broncos defense. They're going to be the play for me. So there you go. What do we got here? Where's Rashi for you rest of season? He has been elite. Let's pull up the rest of season rankings. I have him as my wide receiver 4 rest of season. He is my wide receiver 4, only behind JSN, Puka, and Jamar Chase. Those are the only guys he's behind. Also, mad sharp of you with Wandell on Thursday. Look, man. Sometimes you got to be crazy, and sometimes genius is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But then other times you just look like an idiot. And I've had my fair share of both. Full PPR, need a flex, Michael Wilson, Tet, BTJ, or Jaylen Warren. I think I'm going to go Jaylen Warren here, man. He's a player that I love the matchup for him this week. It should be against a Buffalo defense that has just been kind of giving up some points to the running back position. I think I'm going to go Jaylen Warren. He's going to be my play. Theo, Pitts, or Waller. Interesting. We're kind of getting deep here. It's got to be Pitts, though, for me. Pitts is the highest in my rankings. I have him as a top 12 guy. The other guys are not. Jaylen Warren or Woody Marks in a full PPR. I'm going Jaylen Warren. Tua will be the quarterback in Miami through 2026 at least. He's obviously a hit or miss. Interested to see how the offense looks with the wide receiver to pair with Waddle long term. Yeah, I agree. I just don't know what's going to happen because it clearly hasn't worked so far with the Tua and Mike McDaniel experience, but Chris Greer got them kind of stuck into this hole of Tua as the quarterback for now. I would love to see Miami. I know a lot of people have floated around like bring Mac Jones to Minnesota and have him compete with JJ McCarthy. And while I don't, fully hate the idea of having a competition, I think maybe that could push a JJ McCarthy. I think Mac Jones in Miami would be awesome. Have him go over there and play with Tua and see if he can push Tua. And if he doesn't, you can fall back on Mac Jones. I don't hate that at all. Woody or Franklin in a full PPR? I would go... I like Franklin's matchup this week. I think I'm going to go Franklin. I'm going Franklin. One running back and one flex. Bucky, Travis Etienne, Diggs, Rico, and Igbuka. This is a good list of guys. I think for the wide receiver, I'm going to go Diggs. For the wide receiver, for the flex, I think I'm going Igbuka. So just give me Diggs and Igbuka here. And I'm going to put Etienne, Bucky, and Rico all on the bench. Stranger Juwan Johnson. I'm going to lean with Juwan. Give me Juwan. I need a flex and a super flex to start. My options are Baker, Vidal, Gadsden, Bucky, or Hunter Henry. Andrew, this is where you enter goated status, brother. What you got? Okay. I'm still playing Baker in the super flex. Still going to play him there. I know the injuries, worrisome, but I'm doing it. For the flex spot, Vidal, Gadsden, Bucky, Hunter Henry. I kind of want to play Bucky, but that does put you at risk. Here's what I'm going to say, AMJ. I'm going Baker in the Superflex no matter what. If you are willing to risk it all on Baker Mayfield being healthy and this offense looking good, I'm willing to go Bucky over Vidal. If you want to kind of hedge your bet and go Bucky and then see what happens with, the offense, or go with Baker in the Superflex and see what happens with the offense, you can play Vidal in the flex spot, and I think they're fine. So Baker and Bucky would be my gut. Baker and Vidal is the safe option for me. In a 12-team Dynasty Superflex, full PPR and tight end premium, half-point first down bonus and start 11, I'm in a win an in playoff scenario. Plus, it's my bitter rival this week. Projections have us 50-50. I like that. Yeah, I mean, this is why we got to get this win. So yeah, I'm going with Baker, and I think I'm gonna go with Bucky or Vidal. If you want to get real risky and just bet it all on Tampa, I'm going Bucky. Michael Wilson or Bucky in a full PPR. This is like the line, man. This is right where I have him. Let me pull up the flex. I think I'm going to go Michael Wilson. My DFS for the day is Tua, Achane, Vidal, JSN, Ladd, Igbu, Parkinson, Schultz, Titans defense. Okay, getting deep with the tight ends there at the end. I like it. Titans defense is also super risky. Browns or Jags defensive special team. Give me the Browns, man. It's hard to even think about Myles Garrett not being able to just keep taking over games over and over and over again. So I'm just going with the Browns here. Got Seattle defense. I know I'm good for at least 15 points. God damn. Start one, sit the rest, full PPR. Sutton, Dowdle, Devin Neal, BTJ, Waller, Jaden Higgins. Start one and sit the rest. Yeah, I'm starting Devin Neal. Everybody else hits the bench. See you next week. Where are we at with this one, Dave? Judkins or Vidal in a full PPR? A lot of Vidal questions today. Hopefully this is the last week of them, man, because I want Hampton back in the lineup so we can stop talking about Kamani Vidal. I'm going to go with Judkins. I'm going with Judkins. Pick a flex, full PPR, Rico, Vidal, Neal. Give me Neal in the full PPR. Half-point tight end premium. Should I start Brock Bowers at Superflex or Ertz or Downs? And Ertz or Downs in the flex, or would you slide Wandell to Superflex over Cousins and Bryce Young? Or would you just play one of the QBs instead? This is kind of confusing a little bit because of the names that you're listing, I want to play Brock Bowers. I want to play Wandell. I feel like you could get both of those guys in the lineup, or you should be able to get both of those guys in the lineup. And Cousins and Bryce, I would probably rather play Cousins over Bryce. So I guess if I'm answering your questions the way that you asked it, I feel like of this group, the ones that I would like to get into the lineup the most would be Bowers in, I would like Wandell in, and I would like Cousins in this group. But if I'm answering it the way that you asked, should you start Brock Bowers at the super flex and Ertz or Downs in the flex? I guess I'm going, if that one, should you start Brock Bowers in super flex? Yes. And then would you go Ertz or Downs in the flex? I'd rather go Ertz over Downs. And then would you slide Wandell in the super flex over Cousins or Bryce Young? Probably would put him over those guys. But yeah, Skylar, this is a little bit of a confusing question. For me, the names that you have listed, I feel like you should be able to get Brock Bowers into the lineup, Wandell into the lineup, and Cousins into the lineup. I feel like you should be able to get all of them in. Where are we at here? Are we riding with Tyler Warren on the stomach virus game or Brenton Strange? I'm still going with Tyler Warren, man. Playing through it. How do you feel about starting a QB to match opponents' wide receivers? Example, I played Lamar, but I could have played Hurts to match some of his A.J. Brown points. I normally don't think it matters, but it can get burned. It's not something that I search out. If it happens organically because I like the player and they have a guy, then that's cool. That's a bonus. But I'm not like seeking it out, trying to play and counter some of the points. Because the way that I think about it is like, yeah, you counter their points. You know what I mean? Like, if A.J. Brown goes off, Jalen Hurts goes off too, right? But also in the same breath, they're kind of countering your points. So you're like, it's an equal handicap for both of you. It's just like eliminating players out of your lineup. I don't know. So I'm not like seeking after it. Warren or Gadsden, full PPR. I'm going Warren. What's Debo and McLaurin's rest of season outlook with the uncertainty of JD5? Let's pull those guys up. I currently have, I'm not super bullish on those guys, by the way. Their schedule's pretty decent, I got Debo as my wide receiver 30 rest of season. I have him over Terry McLaurin. Do I? Where's Terry? Did I miss Terry? Yeah, I have him over Terry McLaurin. Terry's my wide receiver 45, so I'm not super bullish. Again, like you said, it's the JD5 stuff. The schedule's decent, but I think these guys are like wide receiver 3s or flexes for the most part. Stroud, Achan, Neal, Nico, Igbigbu, Lad, DFS smash. Let's go. Is BTJ droppable? Sutton over BTJ this week. BTJ is droppable. As far as this week goes, though, I do have Cortland Sutton over Bryant Thomas Jr. So yeah, I think if you're making the decision and you're like, I just want to play one of these guys and drop the other one, I'm playing Sutton and dropping BTJ. Devin Neal or Troy Franklin in the flex. I got Devin Neal as the play. Waller or Ertz? Great question. I have Ertz currently as my tight end 19. I have Waller currently. Where's Waller? Where the hell is Waller? Got him lower than that. So, yeah, he's definitely not above. I'm trying to search for the name. I got Ertz as the play here. Hometown League, need to win, sitting at 5-7. Start one in the flex, full PPR. Michael Wilson, Ted McMillan, Jalen Warren, or Harvey. Okay. I think I'm going to be playing here. I think I'm playing Harvey and... Oh, I guess it's just one. Start one in the flex. Yeah, I think it's Harvey for me. Harvey's the play. Lamb and McConkey are my other starts. Okay, makes sense. Is Brian Thomas Jr. returning for the first time this week? I have him here ready to play, so I have him in my rankings ready to play. Waller, Ertz, or Aaron Jones? I think I like Aaron Jones more than those other options. I'm going Aaron Jones over Ertz and Waller. Knight or Hodgins? Going Knight, man. LL, the way that I asked was terrible. Yes, I have Bowers, Cousins, Wandell in right now. I was really just asking if you'd switch one of them out. No, I liked it the way that you had it. So Bowers, Cousins, Wandell. That's the way I have it too. All good, man. No worries about that. I think this is my last one. Aaron Jones or Debo in a full PPR. I have Debo right now as my wide receiver. Wide receiver 32 on the week against Denver. It's a tough matchup for him. I have Aaron Jones fairly low as well. He's my wide receiver or my running back 28, but I think I'd prefer Aaron Jones over Debo. Lamb or Igbukah rest of season? I would rather have Lamb rest of season. I'd rather have Lamb. Thoughts on Kyler possibly ending up in Minnesota? I don't know how it happens. He also has a massive contract, and I don't know what the draft capital would look like in a trade like that. Maybe Arizona would get McCarthy in that trade. I don't know. Feels weird. I think Kyler and Kevin O'Connell could be pretty nice. I don't know. I've always been a Kyler fan. I don't know how I would feel about this, because I don't know if Kyler's the guy to win them a Super Bowl. I don't know. I'd probably buy a Kyler Murray Vikings jersey if that counts for anything. What is Stroud worth objectively in a Superflex dynasty, in your opinion? I kind of feel like we're out of the 2 first territory right now. He's probably a first plus a second, something like that objectively. It's going to depend on your league, on, the scoring settings. Is it 6-point or 4-point? But I think right now he hasn't played well enough over the last 2 seasons to be worth multiple firsts. Brissett or May, Strange or Gadsden? I'm going to go with May and then Stranger Gadsden. I'm going Gadsden. How scared are you of playing Michael Wilson with Marvin Harrison back? Not super scared. I mean, I currently have Michael Wilson as my wide receiver 22. Now, I do have him higher than Marvin right now in my rankings. So I have him higher than Marvin Harrison this week. Probably need to bump Marvin up even more. But yeah, I'm not super scared. I still think he's a flex. Wide receiver 2, flex type of play. Rico or Jaden Higgins? Give me Rico. Hope you enjoyed your extended holiday weekend. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, and hopefully you did as well. What's up, Babe Rod? It says Stafford or Dart. Are you sure you like Judkins over Harvey this week? I've changed my rankings on that one with Judkins over Harvey. I have Harvey over Judkins now, so I would play Harvey there. So, yeah, that's the benefit of being later in the week, right? Like, I can let the rankings kind of smooth themselves out as the week goes on. As far as Stafford or Dart, I would go Stafford over Dart this week. I have Stafford as a top 6 play. Is Lamar finished? I got lucky with 24 points from a kicker to offset his disaster this week, but I picked up Burrow to potentially replace him rest of the season. Is that crazy? I don't think it's crazy. My rest of season rankings, I still have Lamar top 4, but yeah, it hasn't been good. It hasn't been good. I think Burrow's a top 10 play rest of the season as well. So I think you just play the matchups between the two of them. Whoever has the better matchup, you play. And I'm looking at like the next couple of weeks. It should be good matchups for Lamar. He just hasn't played good. I'd probably play Burrow versus Buffalo next week. I'd probably play Burrow versus Baltimore the following week and see if Lamar can get it on track, and see where we go from there. Monungai carved out a role, or is it just game script went right? I think he's definitely carved out a role. The problem is I think it's not going to be like the greatest role for him to be super high-end fantasy option. And I think they're always going to have another guy. I think of Ben Johnson coming from that Sonic and Knuckles Detroit stuff. I think it's going to be the same way here in Chicago eventually. I don't think Swift's the long-term Sonic of this offense, but I think they'll find another guy to be Sonic. Do you buy Jefferson this offseason? If so, what would you pay? I'd still be willing to buy Jefferson. His price is cheaper than I think it's probably been in a long time, and I think it's because of a couple of things, right? Bad quarterback play this year so far. Lower numbers from Jefferson because of the bad quarterback play. And the age is getting to a point with Jefferson where it's interesting. He's not old, but he's not going to be, I think, considered in his dynasty fantasy football prime anymore, because I look at going into next season for Jefferson, and Jefferson's going to be 27. And right now, like, if you skim through all of the guys on KTC, the highest ranked 27-year-old is Devonta Smith, and he's wide receiver 22. Now, obviously, Justin Jefferson's a different talent than that, but there's just nobody who really creeps into that top 12 of dynasty wide receivers that is in the 27-year-old age bracket right now. Now, he could be the anomaly. He's always continued to be the anomaly, but it's going to be interesting to kind of see that, because we're kind of getting to the point where some of the guys like Amon-Ra, Lamb, Jefferson, that kind of regime of wide receiver, they're going to start getting into that age bracket where they just naturally fall down rankings. And then you're going to have guys who are younger, Neighbors, JSN, Puka, Drake London, probably Buka, T-Mac. I think Jordan Tyson will be a rookie who will sneak up into there. I think you'll have guys like Jeremiah Smith over the next couple of years that is going to sneak up into there. Guys like Pickens, those guys naturally, Romo Dunze, Lad McConkey, they naturally get pushed up the board because of age. So I think it's going to be interesting. That's a long way to go around saying, like, yes, I would still buy Jefferson, but I think you got to be cautious of like what you are buying at this point in time with him. I still think he's a first plus, but Probably a first and 2 2s is where we're at with Jefferson right now. In the offseason, it's going to be a little bit cheaper from draft capital wise because your draft capital value is going to be higher, so you might be able to get it done. But I think that's kind of where we're at. Yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough to tell, what's going on there, but everybody believes in the talent. Someone is trying to get me to trade them Caleb, a late first, and Terry for Jetta's a late second and a garbage add-ons like Mike Gesicki and Dortch with a fourth. Yikes. He said that's trash, right? Yes, it's pretty bad. I'm not going for none of that. Yeah, no way. No problem. Appreciate you. Josiah says, okay, follow-up question. Half PPR, Wilson, Marks, BTJ, or Warren? You have to pick one of them. I'm going with Warren over all these options. Assuming that's Jalen Warren. Which is what I would assume it is. What's up, B-Smooth? Love you too, man. Appreciate you. Dart says, let's get a big Jefferson game. 2 touchdowns from Brosmer bombs. Remind him that JJ is still that dude. Also wouldn't mind a shootout with JSN on my fantasy team. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind it either. I'll be honest. I'm not rooting for a loss and I'm not rooting for a bad game, but I am not ready for the narratives to be spun if Brosmer comes out and looks good and beats Sam Darnold. And oh my gosh, the media is going to have a day with that shit if it happens. So I'm not ready for that if it does. Just know if it does happen, I might be tucking, tail a little bit and trying to avoid some of that media spin because it's going to get real loud in Minnesota, I think, for JJ McCarthy if Brosmer goes out and beats Sam Darnold on a big day where he throws for like 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. That'll be scary hours. Should I start Gainwell, Knight, or Sampson? Definitely would play Gainwell. Brandon says, hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. How do you feel about Michael Wilson now that Marv is back? Was starting Wilson and Alec Pierce in full PPR, but thinking of going Marvin Wilson, to be honest. I don't mind going both of them. I think both of them is a fine strategy here because I think they should have a very positive matchup against Tampa. They should have to throw the football a little bit. Yeah, I don't mind going both of them over Alec Pierce. Josiah says, sorry, Tyler Warren. Okay, that probably changes my opinion a little bit. So we're going back to this one, talking about it as Tyler Warren, not Jalen Warren. I think I'll play Michael Wilson then. Give me Michael Wilson instead. All right, we are caught up. We're about 40 minutes in. I will remind you folks, if you do want to support the show, the best way to do that is to sign up and try Underdog if you haven't already. You can use promo code LeagueFFB when you sign up. If you do and you deposit and play $5 in the account, you do get $100 in bonus funds, bonus entries added immediately to the account. So it's basically a free $100 for signing up and using promo code LeagueFFB. So if you want to support the show, please do me the favor, go over there and try it out on Underdog. You may have already, but if you haven't, you're one of the rare people who haven't and you want to support a small channel, go do that for me. Also, if you would like to just support us free right here, right now, the best way to do so is hit that like button. So go hit that like button for me. That is the best free, immediate way you can support this channel here for this live stream. So appreciate you guys. And Smitty says, rolling with Gainwell over Dowdle due to a tough matchup. What are your thoughts? I'm not. It's a good matchup for Gainwell. It's a tough matchup for Dowdle. I still have Dowdle one spot higher. Give me Rico. What do we got? Pick 2. PPR Tet JJ. Pick 2. PPR Pittman Tet JJ. I'm going with... Give me T-Mac and give me Jefferson. You're right about the media. I'm not off McCarthy, but it's been tough. Just want my boys to get it figured out. Seems like we have a window and we just need the QB to step up. Yeah, man, it's been tough. But like I said, that media is gonna get real hectic, real crazy if something like that happens this week. But we'll see what happens, man. I don't know. We'll see. I believe in McCarthy still, man. I know people are gonna say you're crazy for still believing him. It's 6 games into his career, man. I still am believing. Got any spread picks you like this week? I don't even know what these spreads look like. Let me pull something up and see where we're at. I'll give you something. I'll tell you what, I kind of like that Texans +3. Texans +3 looks good. I like Bills -3. Those would be the ones, though. Texans +3, Bills -3. Those would be the two. What are we at? Appreciate you too, man. Much love. What did you do for Thanksgiving? Favorite main sides? We had like a Friendsgiving earlier in the weekend, and then on actual Thanksgiving Day, we were just at the house. My wife cooked. We just chilled here, ate food, watched football. That was pretty much all I did all day on actual Thanksgiving. Outside of that Friendsgiving, what are my favorite sides or mains and sides that we had? Obviously the turkey. The turkey's, I think the main event. She made these like little garlic bread pull apart squares that were pretty damn good. Those were pretty good. And then I'm always a sucker for, mashed potatoes and gravy. So those are like my favorite ones. But yeah. Debo or Terry? Give me Debo. Michael Wilson is also an option there. I would rather have those two guys that I mentioned, T-Mac and JJ. Full PPR, Parker Washington at Tennessee, Mechie at Atlanta, Kayshon Boutte versus New York Giants. Need the most upside here. I'm trying to ruin my opponent's chances of making playoffs and bring them down with me. That's insane, Dylan, but I love it. Play spoiler. Most upside here. The safest play is Parker Washington. If you're looking for the most upside, it's Kayshon Boutte. I think catching a long touchdown, that's like the most upside here. So if you're looking for the upside to ruin the weekend, Kayshon Boutte is probably the way to do it. Pie Guy, what's up, man? Pie Guy Dude, man. I love it. 14/8, Superflex PPR, points per first down. You going JT or ETN Ricky in a late 26 first? Ooh, man. Man, that's it. I mean, ETN Ricky in a late first is some good value for JT right now. But if I'm any type of contending roster, I just want Jonathan Taylor here. I think Ricky's lost a little bit of the lust that he had since coming back, and I know it's been early since the injury. I'm going JT still. You think Josh Allen does good missing both tackles? I don't know. I think we're going to get a little bit more hero Josh Allen, which isn't necessarily bad. I mean, with that, sometimes you get a little bit of the turnovers, a little bit of the recklessness, but I do think you get a little bit more hero, some rushing upside, him playing a little bit more chaotic, which can result in big plays. So it may be a closer game. I just think Buffalo's probably going to win that one, and he's going to have to do some heroics, and I trust Josh Allen in that game more than I trust an Aaron Rodgers-led football team. So at this point in his career, that sounded disrespectful, but at this point in his career. Amon-Ra ruined your Thanksgiving? Yeah, he did. 0 points is pretty shitty, but you know what? It's an injury, so we'll see. They said it's a low ankle sprain, so really only 1 to 2 weeks. He probably misses, like we talked about earlier, he probably misses Thursday Night Football, and he's back the following week, which is fine because that's the first round of the playoffs. We need you in the first round of the playoffs there, Amon-Ra. Everybody heard it from Andrew. Bet the house on Bills and Texans. I mean, I don't mind it, man. Take the spreads, take the money lines. Those would be my picks there, though. Maybe you do Bills money line and Texans spread. I don't mind that. Marv or Gainwell in half PPR. I'm going Marv. Going Marv in there. I'm just playing him this week in that positive matchup against Tampa Bay. Who should I start? Judkins, Dowdle, Neal, Genty, or Hendo? You got to pick 3 of these guys. Nice little group of players here, and I think you're going to be surprised with my answer because one of them is going to be the guy that you don't think I'm going to pick because there's some dope names here. But the first player that I would play would be Henderson. He's the highest in my rankings. He'd be the first of the guys that I would play. The second is going to be Devin Neal. Devin Neal's the top 12 player in my rankings this week. I'm playing Devin Neal. So give me Hendo, Neal, and then give me Genty. I'm sitting Judkins, and I'm sitting Dowdle this week out of this group. So yeah, that's probably not the group that you thought I would pick, but Hendo, Neal, Genty. All right, folks. We are caught up fairly... I guess we're all caught up here on the chat. So I am going to call... We're 45 minutes in. I'm going to call last call. So let's get those final questions in here today. You know, we typically go an hour. We might end this one just a tiny bit early because I do have an appointment to go get some new tires on my car for the winter. So I'm probably going to leave early to go do that instead of sitting here waiting for some questions in the final 10 minutes. Just get ready to go do that. But last call here on the questions. Let's get them in. I see we got one from Joe, but start pouring those ones in, man. Full PPR, need 2 wide receivers: Nico Collins, Wan'Dale Robinson, Justin Jefferson, and Courtland Sutton. I have Nico as the highest in my rankings. Actually, I lied. Hold on. I was looking at my rest of the season rankings. Actually, I didn't lie. I still have Nico as the highest this week in my rankings, and then I have Wan'Dale Robinson as the second highest. So if I'm picking 2, it's Nico and Wan'Dale. I'm benching Jefferson and benching Sutton. PBR sit 1. I need ceiling, so we're going for ceiling plays here. ETN, Warren, Judkins, Olave. I'm playing Olave. I'm playing ETN. It's between Jalen Warren and Judkins as the sit. I think I'm going to sit Judkins. I think I'm sitting Judkins. I'm going to go Jalen Warren, ETN, and Olave. On that JT trade, how much more would you need to be added to the other side to take it? I think I'd need a better wide receiver than Ricky. That's kind of where I feel like you would have to go somewhere else. If you could make Ricky a wide receiver in the same kind of ballpark as probably like a Jalen Waddle or a Devonta Smith, a Chris Olave, somewhere around there, you get me real tempted to take the other side of the deal. Are we tempering the expectations on any Browns and 49ers players? Heard it's heavy snow. Yeah, I've heard some bad weather stuff from them in that game. I am tempering the expectations a little bit. When I look at the weather for that game at the moment, the most recent weather that I have is, let me pull this up real quick. Most recent weather that I have right now is it's 33 degrees, 29 mile per hour winds, windy, overcast, snow. Like, it should be a bad weather game from the looks of it. Whether or not it's actively snowing, I don't know. But yeah, I'm probably going to be tempering the expectations there quite a bit. Maybe lean on the run game a little bit more, but it could be pretty low scoring in this one. Maybe that's another game too where you look at the spread. I don't know what the spread is on that one. I think it was 5.5 when I saw it. Maybe you tease it up to like 7.5, 8.5, and take the spread on that one. Bruce City Bob. BTJ, Ertz, Marks, Mason Taylor, full PPR, and a tight end premium. You need one. Also, I'm going to go with Marks in that first one, by the way. Woody Marks. Brissett or Daniel Jones today. That one's a good one. I think I have Brissett higher in my rankings, if I'm not mistaken. I do have Brissett higher in my rankings. So give me Brissett. Then he said that should do it. Good luck in this playoff push. Also, my man, I was sad to see no trade show on Saturday. Yeah, man. I mean, we took 1 week off because of the Thanksgiving holidays, but we'll definitely get back to it this week. We should be back to regular scheduled programming. So I'm glad, you guys were excited for the trade show. It was probably a good weekend to have one because people were at home chilling. But yeah, War and I, we had some stuff, and we just were like, you know what? We deserve the week off to go spend with family and friends. So why not? So sorry, man, but I'm glad that you guys love it so much. It's a weekly thing. It's a weekly staple on this channel, probably for forever now at this point. Robert says start Rico or DK. Give me DK. Give me DK. Frank says I got an offer of JSN, a 26 and a 27 third, Hawkinson, Shaheed for JT, Amon, and Warren. Please tell me it's crazy so I can send him the video and timestamp this answer. It's pretty fucking crazy. If we're being honest, because, and I'm not just saying this for you, but if I'm looking at this very constructively, Amon-Ra and JSN, yes, we prefer JSN in Dynasty. The difference shouldn't be that much. The difference is not a Jonathan Taylor and a Tyler Warren difference. That's ridiculous. So is this crazy? Hell yes. You can take that offer and shove it up your ass. Is what I would say. So you can clip that, Frank. Send that to him and send it to his ass and tell him to get on with his life. There you go. Tried to do something for you there. Chase says 2 leagues, full PPR in both, Judkins or Bucky, Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson, or Jalen Warren. I'm going with Bucky over Judkins, and then with Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson, or Jalen Warren, I think I'm going to go with Jalen Warren over the 2 receivers there this week. BTJ bounce back week. Everybody jump on the train. I'm benching his ass in one of my leagues, but I also am starting like 5 fucking top 10 wide receivers. It's that Dynasty League, Brett. I got like Puka in the lineup. I had Amon-Ra in the lineup. Jefferson is on the bench in that league too. Ladd, Warren, or Waddle, all those guys. I got a bunch of motherfuckers. Should I trade away Wandell and a 26 second and a 27 third for Breece Hall? Yeah, I'd rather have Breece. What's up, man? Must win week. Pick 2, full PPR. Waller, Michael Wilson, Keenan, or Woody. Give me Michael Wilson. Give me Woody. Those are going to be the 2. Let's hopefully get that win, man. I originally offered Wandell and 26 second for Breece. I think that's not a bad offer. If all it takes is a 27 third to get over the top, then yeah, I'm going to go with that. Amon-Ra owner here. Yeah, same. Tough. PPR need 1 running back, 1 wide receiver, and 1 flex. T, Mac, JJ, Shakir, Genty, Hendy, Kyron. So the 1 running back, I'm going with Henderson. The second running, or I guess with the flex, I'm going to go with Kyron. And then for the wide receiver, I'm going with JJ. So give me JJ, Kyron, Hendy as the plays. Olave, T-Mac, Marv, Gainwell, pick 2. It's going to be Olave, and it's going to be T-Mac, I think. No problem, man. All right, man. Roland, you got the last one. He says, good morning, youngster, and I'm going to let it slide. Purdy or Baker? Then Purdy or Sam Darnold in a different league. I got... Where do I have him? I got Baker Mayfield over Purdy this week. So give me Baker, and then you said Purdy or Sam. I'm going with Sam over Purdy. JT for Breece plus the 27 first and 26 second. Even as a contender, this is tempting. Not sure if what JT is doing is sustainable. Yeah, I never mind, migrating off of a elite running back at his age. You know, this could be the peak value for Jonathan Taylor right now, and he's going to win people leagues for certain. But when you can get a 27 first and a 26 second and Brees, I don't hate it. I really don't. So you got to be smart about it. Brandon says, I like how you keep saying T-Mac because he's on record saying he hates Tet. Yeah, I've been trying to, you know, when I notice it, I'll say Tetaroa or I'll say T-Mac. I try and do it, but whatever. You know, sometimes, yeah, I don't know the guy personally, obviously, but you know, when people say they like to be called a certain thing, I think it's respectful just in general as a man to call somebody by the name that they prefer. If you don't want to call somebody by the name that they prefer, you're kind of being disrespectful. So, you know, it's just a life thing, I guess, really. Antoine says, Antoine Jameson, my guy, BTJ, Pittman, or Michael Wilson. Give me Pittman here. And then I really am calling this one the last one here with the great one. It says BTJ or Gainwell in a PPR. Woo. I'm going to go with... I'm skimming through my flex rankings right now. I got BTJ there. Give me BTJ, man. I'm going to play him. So there you go. All right, folks, that's it. Appreciate everybody for being here this morning. Hopefully we can get it all, you know, get a win this week. I know not all of us are going to be able to do that. Some of us might be playing each other. Mostly you said Gainwell or Marv. I'm going Marv here. But that said, man, good luck here in week 13. 2 weeks, this week and next week of the regular season, or at least that's how it should be in your league. If it's not and you are playing a week 18 championship, tell your commissioner to get with the fucking program, because what are you doing? But at the end of the day, man, good luck. We got 2 weeks until playoffs. Let's bang out a couple more wins. Let's get into those playoffs and let's start winning some championships, man. That's what we're here for. That's what we've been trying to do all year. And that's what we're going to always continue to do here on this channel, is try and help you guys win those fantasy championships. So with that being said, I have nothing else for you guys today. I will see you on our next episode. But until then, peace out.